Attraction isn't a mystical phenomenon. It's a strategic approach, and many men completely misunderstand it. You don't draw a woman in by relentlessly pursuing her. You don't keep her engaged by constantly demonstrating your affection. And you certainly don't earn her respect by explaining how you differ from other guys. If you find yourself stuck in a repetitive cycle, texting first, responding quickly, trying to be funny, kind, and available, only to have her pull away or lose interest, then this video will completely change your perspective. We're not here to discuss pickup lines or teach you tricks to feign confidence. This is about something much deeper. We're focusing on how to move, how to position yourself, and how to show up in a way that naturally fosters attraction without the need to perform, plead, or chase. We're exploring what Machiavelli would advise if he were alive today, not on playing games, but on wielding power. In relationships, true power is subtle. It doesn't seek attention, it doesn't chase, and it doesn't try to convince. It simply exists, calm, composed, and rare. That alone creates an irresistible pull. This isn't manipulation. It's clarity. It's about becoming the kind of man who commands respect without demanding it, who creates tension without forcing it, and who doesn't need to be chosen because he has already chosen himself. In this video, you'll discover 5 Machiavellian rules of attraction that will change how women perceive you, both in real life and online. We'll dissect the specific behaviors that generate attraction instead of pressure, desire instead of dependency, and curiosity instead of boredom. By the end, you won't just understand why your previous efforts failed. You'll know exactly what to do instead. Let's dive into Rule 1. Be the one she can't fully decipher. Here's the reality. Most men never grasp this. Predictability extinguishes attraction. When a woman knows exactly how you'll respond, how quickly you'll reply, and what you'll say, you lose the very element that fuels attraction: mystery. Machiavelli stated, "People don't respect what they can fully understand. They respect what they can't fully predict." When you're overly transparent with your feelings, when you overshare, or when you constantly validate her without her earning it, she feels in control. And when she feels in control, she doesn't chase. In real life, don't be the guy who reveals his entire plan on the first date. Avoid texting "good morning" every single day before she's shown consistent interest. Don't double text if she hasn't replied in 4 hours. Give her space. Respond when it feels appropriate. Allow silence to do some of the work. When she doesn't always know what you're thinking, she starts to think more about you. That's power. Rule 2. Online, your presence should be rare and valuable. If she sees you posting every hour or commenting on every girl's post, your online energy screams, "Look at me," which doesn't attract her. It makes her scroll past. Think like Machiavelli here. Power is about perception. Online, less is more. A single, high-value post, a clean profile, and a story that makes her pause. That's sufficient. You want her to think, what's he up to? This doesn't mean you should never post. It means your content should reflect who you are becoming, not what you're trying to prove. Show value. Showcase your life. But don't overshare your thoughts, struggles, or desperation for connection. In a noisy world, silence is alluring. Rule 3. Stop over-explaining and defending yourself. Machiavelli said, "The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him." Let's take that further. How you carry yourself around women dictates how they should treat you. If you're constantly justifying your words, apologizing for minor things, or explaining why you're different from others, you create a dynamic where she becomes the judge, and you become the one seeking approval. That doesn't foster attraction. It breeds pressure and boredom. In real life, if you say something bold and she gives you a look, don't panic. Just smile and say, "You'll figure me out later." If she questions why you didn't reply right away, respond with, "I don't rush things I care about." You don't need to defend your pace. You need to own it. Confidence isn't about being loud. It's about being unbothered by misunderstandings. The man who doesn't feel the need to explain himself constantly creates intrigue, and women are drawn to what feels intriguing. Rule 4. Be emotionally selective, not emotionally needy. It's okay to care and to be gentle, but Machiavellian attraction hinges on one key element: emotional control. If every time she says something sweet, you melt, or if she pulls back and you immediately overthink and chase her, you're not being romantic. You're being emotionally reactive. In Machiavellian terms, you've just given her leverage. You've shown that your peace of mind depends on her actions, which unbalances the dynamic. She has nothing to prove, and you're the one doing all the work. Instead, practice emotional selectivity. Compliment her when it's earned. Match her energy instead of giving it away blindly. Don't fake indifference. Just stop offering 100% to someone who's only giving 40%. For example, if she starts acting cold or distant via text, don't send a lengthy message. Simply slow down your responses. If you ask her to hang out and she cancels last minute, don't beg. Just say all good and move on. Attraction isn't about being available for everything. It's about making her wonder what part of you she truly has access to. Rule 5. Build your power so she feels fortunate to have your time. This rule changes everything. Most guys chase because they lack other fulfilling pursuits. They're not building anything. Their focus is scattered, and their emotional world revolves around a woman they just met. Machiavelli would find this amusing because the strongest form of attraction occurs when someone senses that you're already fulfilled and don't need them, yet you still choose to be with them. When you're building something in your life, be it a business, a craft, your fitness, or your intellect, you start to move differently. You don't text out of boredom. You don't overextend your energy, and you don't chase attention because you're already on a mission. Women can sense that difference. They can feel the distinction between a man who is available and one who is driven. This difference is evident in what you post online and how you present yourself in real life. When you have your own mission, you don't need to act mysterious. Your life naturally makes you magnetic. Now, let's make this practical, because ideas are great, but without application, nothing changes. Here are a few everyday scenarios, both online and offline, where these rules demonstrate their power. Observe how the dynamic shifts simply by altering your approach. In real life, during a date, if she says something to test you, like, "You probably say that to all the girls," don't defend yourself. Just smirk and say, "I don't say much." Shift the power online. If she leaves you on read, don't triple text. Instead, post something valuable and remain silent. Let your absence speak volumes. In a situationship, if she gives less and you give more, pull back your energy, not to punish her, but to uphold your standards. At the gym, in public, or in class, don't over-engage. Be friendly but composed. Women notice posture, stillness, and focus, which are far more attractive than trying to impress. Before we conclude, there's one last crucial point you need to grasp. This is the part that most people overlook, and it's precisely why they keep chasing without progress. If you remember just one thing from this video, let it be this. Once you shift this mindset, your entire experience of attraction will transform. Here's what Machiavelli understood that many still don't. Power doesn't chase. It shapes the environment. When you stop trying to convince someone to choose you and start moving like someone who has already chosen himself, by your mission, by your peace, everything changes. She senses it. She notices the difference. You're not here to plead for attention. You're here to create gravity. So stop asking, how do I get her to like me? Instead, ask yourself, how do I move in a way that piques her curiosity? How do I become so grounded, so emotionally stable and so intentional that she can't help but think about me? That's not magic. That's strategy. If this resonated with you, don't just keep it to yourself. Leave a comment, even if it's just a few words. It'll help you remember, and it might assist someone else too. Hit the like button if you found this content valuable, and share it with someone who could benefit from it right now. Trust your instincts. We're all striving for clarity and strength within ourselves. Let's build resilient minds that won't break.